Hey folks, Matt Easton here, Scholar Gladiatoria, and I'm with Josh Parise, and we of Destroyer Mods. He's making lots of cool stuff, essentially, that's catered for HEMA, and a lot of it's quite experimental, isn't it? You've got some products that are kind of mainstream, kind of ready to go, ready to buy now, and then you're developing new stuff all the time.
In a lot of development.
So do you want to? So how did you start out with the company?
Well, I started in HEMA. Basically kit bashing, finding pieces, an old saber mask, some lacrosse gloves, that kind of stuff. And I work with my hands. So I build waterfalls and water features, like aquatic gardens.
Oh, wow.
So I always have to design, meet clients, do drawings, work on type, that kind of stuff. So the reality is I couldn't get hurt. So I started taking the gear that was available. And don't get me wrong, the fact that there is gear available is amazing, because 5 years ago there wasn't gear available. We just did everything. So as gear started to develop and come out, I just started filling in the gaps that I thought needed filled.
Improving.
Right, exactly. And that's the whole idea between the modifications. It's destroy mods, and you can modify your own gear that I do, and that type of deal. And then always keeping up, with.
It's a cool name as well, Destroy Mods.
Yeah,
it's very memorable.
I got that from Mikey Edelson.
Oh, cool.
Mike Edelson.
Okay.
One of his
we're gonna talk to Mike Edelson soon.
Hi, Dad. Yeah, Mike gave me the nickname Destroyer after a couple bouts with one of his guys, and it kind of stuck. And he also gave me the name Gorilla, so that kind of stuck too.
And that's all the Diane Fossey.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's have a look at. So here's one of your products. So yes. I know that in fact one of the guys in my group, Pedro, has ordered a back of head thing from me, which so this is the first time I'm looking at it. It seems really, really good. Do you want to tell us a bit about what it is and how you developed it?
Sure. So what we did is we took a basic standard fencing mask, the HEMA mask from AF, and what I did is I was noticing a lot of people taking a lot of headshots and, like you said, collapsing the mask. This rubber just wasn't getting it done. So I just started kind of thinking about what I would do. Now, obviously, you've seen my fight rig. It is not. It's something different. Nobody gets the Iron Man suit. So basically, a friend of mine came up to me and saw what I was doing and said, "Hey, can you do something to make this?" And that's how the 82nd came about. Justin, a good friend of mine, is actually a ranger, Army Ranger,
right.
Which isn't good. It's not as good as the Marines. But he basically said, "Hey, can you commission a piece?" And so then I started just developing aspects that I liked from kendo. I'd seen some leather work that was coming out of Poland that was doing some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was just familiar with working with the thermoplastics, just from messing around with stuff.
Is this like Kydex?
It is Kydex. It is Kydex. It's 463. I like the Kydex. I also worked with some ABS. Just stuff that's going to take some impact resistance. And then so we started developing piece by piece. First the top of the head to make sure we weren't getting that crush point. It does have supplemental padding on the interior, so it creates kind of a cushion. The clavicle style wings, the original had a kendo style wing, which is cool. Some people like it, some people don't like it in the high guards or the hangings. So we created the second, and it's like a shorty.
So it's a bit smaller.
Correct. This is one we backed, and then Jason Barron's has one we call the Red Baron. It just cuts straight off, so that's pretty cool. And then back of the head was always really important to me. I'm a hockey goaltender as well. So I had a bunch of old hockey parts. Cool. So I started taking the back of the head from the goaltender mask, and then just kind of rethinking and reshaping it. And that's how we kind of went up with the design, and then the cervical pad with additional padding on it. Just you can get the back of the head shots, and then you got to also.
I mean, this back of head to me looks pretty much perfect. I mean, this is I kind of on my old mask. I've got something similar to this made of plastic, but it's gradually falling apart and it's not used anymore. But essentially, that design has always worked perfectly for me, and I don't really understand why all of these companies have made these big square padded
oven mitts for your head.
That's what's needed. Exactly. That's the shape of the hole. That's the shape of your head. Make it in hard plastic.
So you saw it here first when everyone starts ripping it off. No, just
well, and also the other thing I like is a lot of back of head protectors that I've found, they come too low down. So if you're doing saber or ropey or something else where your body's turned quite sideways on, they conflict with your shoulders. Correct. Whereas this gets over that problem. So that seems perfect to me. I'm definitely going to get myself.
Yeah, we'll get you. I think that's the idea too. Is a lot of these companies, like I said, I'm grateful these companies are making products. I mean, that gives me a nice base to work off. But I don't think a lot of them are just dealing specifically with fighters. They got designers and engineers and draftsmen, and put a HEMA guy in there for a hot minute. And
I know, and some of the stuff, some of the new stuff that comes out, it appears like they haven't tested it. They haven't asked HEMA people what do you actually want. They
see out here, I fight in, my guys fight in. I mean, it's kind of their privilege as being part of Broken Plow that they get all the cool gear, but they also get the S knocked out of them when I'm like, hey, see, tell me if this works.
So Broken Plow and Destroy Mods, where are you based?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, cool. Okay. You support the Steelers?
I certainly do.
Yeah. There you go. See, I know something about American culture.
That's right.
And this is really good as well. So this is essentially it's an external gorget, isn't it? So you're probably still going to want to wear something underneath in case something comes underneath that.
And that's our roughneck is actually the gorget that I created, and that has become phenomenally popular. Like, I can't even keep up with the stuff.
I'll have to have a look at those because I'm never happy with the gorgets.
I hate gorgets.
No, I hate them.
So I created
a gorget. They were too bulky.
Right. I created a gorget that I would wear. And that's how it came about. Everybody's got it now. Axel's wearing it. Teese has it.
Really?
Yeah, everybody.
So if Axel Pettersson and Teese Cool are wearing a gorget, it's a pretty good
it's a pretty
endorsement.
Good piece of Oh, and Jake Norwood, that guy.
Jake Norwood.
Yeah, he's some
don't know who he is.
Some wanker.
But so this is an extra level of protection on the outside, particularly for longsword. So some of the newer feathers that I've seen are pretty stiff, stiffer than the regular. So having that extra bit in front of your throat, and that's not going to limit. It's on the front, so it doesn't limit your motion or anything.
It's based in the crease, so it goes right where you go.
And it weighs like nothing. So I recently did a review of the Leon Paul mask, which has an issue with the bib folding up. Actually, that on top of it might prevent that.
That was the original idea, is that the anti-bib flip is what creates that protection. The gorget is still necessary. The new jacket I'm designing, though, everything is built in. So the gorget is built in, elbows are built in, things like that.
So you're working on a new jacket?
Yeah, it'll be out in about a month. Yeah, we're doing a whole line. It's going to be great. I'm doing a lot of work with Purple Heart Armories. They're sponsoring a lot of the work and commissioning pieces for them. We got some really cool top secret stuff that I can't drop yet, but I'm super excited about.
Wow, so I didn't. Okay, so it's exciting times. There's obviously lots of new.
Yeah,
that's great. It's great to have products coming from someone who actually fights them and stuff and knows about it. So that's really great. Well,
I apologize. I do gotta go. I gotta go make people cry. Cool. It was very nice talking to you.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm really, really impressed by this stuff, and I'm really excited to see the new stuff coming out. So, cheers, Josh.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right. Let's see. Thanks again.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, follow us on Facebook. You can buy t-shirts through Spreadshirt, support us on Patreon, or follow us on Pinterest. Thank you.